Hello, good evening. Good evening. It's not good evening at all. It's good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is the Talkin Kop. It is Thursday, the 11th of January. I'm Gav. This is the 30, and loads and loads and loads to talk about. So we may go over the 30 minutes. I have no guest with me this morning. I didn't even try to get one. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't try to get one. But we are going to talk about Liverpool against Fulham. We're going to talk about Phil McNulty, which was the crack. We're going to talk about EA24, which got mentioned on the members watch along last night. We're going to talk about recycling. There's a huge problem going on in Ireland here that was thrown out to me last night, and I need to get into it because it's absolutely mental. And anything else in the chat that you want to talk about? I should have got a guest. I should have probably asked Kev to come on, but I don't know if Kev's working or not. So you never know. He might pop in the chat. I might ask him. He may jump on, and we see where we go from there. Anyway, welcome to everyone. I've just realised that this is a members show, but I haven't set it as a members show. I've been very rushed this morning, so it looks like I've set this out to everybody. Everybody can watch it this morning for some reason. The reason being me. So there you go. Let me see. Pete is in. Johnny's in. Garrett is in. Chris is in. Let me see. Steve is in. There's loads of people joining now. Loads of people joining. So, first one up. Yeah, a bit of a sad story this morning. I'm going to start with it. Sven-Göran Eriksson. It's been revealed this morning that Sven-Göran Eriksson has been diagnosed with terminal cancer and at best a year to live. It's just a horrible story, to be honest with you, to wake up to. A very, very good England manager. Had the golden generation, as they called it. Real character, a real character, and you know, there's been a lot of jokes made about his character over the years and what he's like and different things and stuff like that. But you know, it's just terrible, sad news for anybody to have that diagnosis, and that fella is, you know, he's in the public eye. He has been for the vast majority of his life, I would presume. Definitely since the late early 2000s in the English media, anyway. And look, we wish him all the best, but it's just a horrific diagnosis, and what more can you say on it? But it's a kind of look, it's just awful. There's just no other ways to put it. He's come out and he's told people about this news, and look, I hope he gets all the support he needs over this time that he does have left, but at the same time, he needs the privacy as well, to deal with what he's dealing with. Kev is in. He's in bits with his back, says Emma Kavanagh. Morning all. So this is a taste of what members gets up to. Yeah, it is a little bit. It is a bit of a taster as to what members get. And look, people coming on from the main feed who aren't members be going, what is going on here? Like, literally, they're talking about football for 6 minutes and they're like banging on about recycling bottles. That's how we do it on the Talkin Kop on a morning at 10 a.m. So if you're in and you're not a member, look, feel free to try our comments in there. If you want to become a member, do so. We try to get 5 of these done a week. We usually end up on an average about 3 or 4, depending on how busy I am on different things. And the membership shows, you know, we're averaging, I think, over 20 a month anyway. So let me see. Kev is there. I don't know if Kev's available. He may be available to jump in. I don't know, but leave him. His back's in bits. He was horsing stuff around yesterday. Done his back in. He was devastated over it because he is doing this weight loss thing with us, and that can hamper you. Mad what can hamper you. So we wish Kev all the best in his recovery as well. Anyway, Liverpool 2, Fulham 1. A game of two halves is how a lot of people explain it. I don't even think it was that, to be honest with you. Kevin Chris done the post-match show last night. I did edit it. I did put it out. I haven't listened because I listened back this morning to it, so I haven't heard their thoughts on it. But I'll give you mine. We done a watch along, me and Emmett, last night. Loads was going on there. We'll get into that a little bit later. But I think me and Emma were in agreement a little bit when it came to the game. I think, look, Liverpool didn't even switch off for a goal. If you look at what Fulham had in the first half, did a couple of shots on target, mostly straight down Kelleher's neck, to be honest with you, or down his throat. And it was one of those where, you know, it was Fulham were really compact. They were playing a were sticking in a kind of a 4-5-1, nearly a dime in the midfield, trying to get at people as well. And for the goal, look, it was a Van Dijk should, for me, jump and head it or let it drop and kick it, and he doesn't either. It breaks over the back of him. Willian does really well. He sells Conor Bradley. It's the only time Conor Bradley is he's sold in the game. He shifts it past Konate. It goes through Virgil's legs. People are saying Kelleher do better. It's literally through Van Dijk's legs from about 7 yards out. I don't think the keeper can do any better. And it was one of those halves where Liverpool, I don't think, moved the ball quickly enough. That's a definite. They definitely didn't. We definitely didn't move the ball quick enough. I felt that Diaz, I think Jones was having a good game, and he was finding pockets down that left-hand side, but Diaz seemed to be on top of him. And any time he used Diaz as an outlet on the left-hand side, he was getting that Castagna, or he was actually pulling Fulham across the pitch, and we could go the other way and try to be a bit creative. But we weren't moving it quick enough. We had a couple of chances. Bradley does well, gets the ball across the face of the goal. Leno does well to hold it. You've got one from Jota where he puts it across the goal, nobody's there. And I was saying to Emma, look, that's where I'd love Darwin Núñez to be, top a few home. That's where he needs. And we get onto that in a little bit as well. And it was a sucker punch from Fulham, but the game just quickly settled back into the rhythm of Liverpool having loads and loads of the ball. I thought Curtis Jones played well. I thought he was the one finding those little spaces. Harvey Elliott at times was little sparks from him. I think our decision making was poor. I think there was 1 or 2 occasions where Harvey Elliott was actually in if we played the ball. And then there was one incident where we would have been away 3-2 or 4-2, and the referee called it back because, why, I don't know. But look, it's 1-0 at half time, and the second half comes, and you're thinking subs will be made here, and he makes the subs, I think on 52 or 53 minutes. He brings on Núñez and Gakpo for Elliott and Gravenberch. Now, I thought he was going to bring on, I did think he was going to bring on Núñez for Gravenberch. Gravenberch just wasn't having a good night, and that's okay. He wasn't having a good night. I thought he was going to bring on Núñez, stick him down the left, stick Diaz on the right, but he doesn't. He takes off Elliott as well. I think he wants a bit more physical and a bit more energy. And that came in spades after that. But the only thing I would say is before Liverpool actually score, we seemed to go into this thing where we were 2-0 down and the game was a one-legged affair, because we literally ended up with Joe Gomez so high up the pitch that Van Dijk and Konate were playing as 2-man defenders against all the runners. It actually went back a little bit to last season for me, where teams were just running over the top of us and exposing our centre-halves to too many players. Bobby De Cordova-Reid has a great chance to square one to, I think it might be Pereira, shoots instead. And that's a big let-off, a big let-off. And look, Liverpool then torn it. Jota does brilliantly for the goal. He wins it. He kind of nudges it past someone with his head, gets it into Núñez. Núñez knocks it off to Jones. Jones is taking a shot that looks like it's going again straight at Leno, takes a flick off the defender, goes up and into the net, and the game switches immediately, because Liverpool straight away, listen, let's go back into our 4 at the back. Let's go back to the way we usually play, but let's move it a hell of a lot quicker. Jota was coming deeper. Gakpo was coming in off the right. Núñez was swinging left. Diaz was going left. Curtis Jones spent most of the second half playing left back, which was a bit mad, but that was allowing Núñez and Diaz to go and do their work. And when I look back at it, I gave Bradley man of the match. I think it's probably Curtis Jones after looking back at it. But the second goal was brilliant. The second goal was brilliant because it's kind of congested in the middle of the park, and Jota makes just a lovely run down the left. He's found, charges towards the Fulham goal, plays it to Núñez. Núñez back to Gakpo. He's outside the front post, wraps his foot around it. And we should probably put the tie to bed, if you're being honest. The Núñez miss, people are banging on about Núñez this morning. Núñez changed the game when he come on, because he was down the left, he was down the right, he was central, he had a good header, really good header, saved by Leno. It was absolute quality, you know. And that miss, the ball is flashed across. He readjusts his feet really well. He gets his left foot to it. Leno's just come out and made a brilliant save. Leno's made himself big while he's horizontal. You know what I mean? I think he does really, really well. Hold on, I think I have Kev, so I'm going to have to switch a few things around. This could be fun. Give me a second. I'll get you now, Kev. I'll get you now. So, Yeah, so we could have put the game to bed. Nunes has that chance. There's a couple more chances. Jota has one. He lifts it over the bar from the edge of the box. And Fulham were tiring. You could see them tiring. William was tiring. Robinson was tiring badly. The guy Reid, the young guy Reid in the middle of midfield was really good. Harrison Reid, really, really, really good. And Fulham were impressive in what they were doing. I don't think they went where they went and said, we've no interest in playing football here, but they knew how to pick their battles. And I think Marco Silva said it afterwards. He's happy still to be in the tie, because I think he knew from 70 onwards Liverpool are in a rhythm here and could absolutely tear us another one. Let me read out some comments where we're going. Bradley played really well last night. Very, very exciting young fella. Says Garen Mac. Chris Brack says Jota was more involved once Nunes came on. He became the link for the pace of Diaz and Nunes. Yes, and I think the key to that is actually Jones, where Jones ends up. Anyone want to give a shout on Kanate last night? I thought he was very ropey. That was a couple of things he done was very ropey. Now, a couple of them he was put into position to be ropey. Kelleher gives him one in the first half where you're like, what are you doing? Passing across the width of the pitch to him, with his like back to goal. It was a bit of a mad one. Gakpo loves the League Cup goal. 4 games in a row in the League Cup he scored. 3 defeats in all comps since April. We are so hard to beat. We find a way to stay in games, says Chris. Let me see. Gravenberch's just not cutting her at the moment. He wasn't good last night. His touch was off. He handles the ball when he thinks it's going out for a throw. He actually loses one last night, wins it back, cuts inside, and gives the eyes to Leno and tries to put it in the other corner. And Leno hasn't got a hope, and it just slides past. It was unbelievable. But it was one of those nights for Gravenberch. It happens. Nunes completely changed the game, Gavin. Yeah, he did. Gravenberch needs a full pre-season. Once he learns the nuances of the Liverpool system, he'll be fine. I think it's a bit of that, and it's a bit of getting up to the pace physically of what we try to do. That's where I am on it. Stephen Murphy, Gravenberch is younger than Jones, so I'm not sure why people expect big things every game from him. We can all see his qualities, and he will come good. Yeah, I'm absolutely alright with Gravenberch. He's come in. We bang on how it takes a while for people to adjust. He's 4 months into a Liverpool career. He'll be absolutely fine. Simon says, I thought Jones too. We just don't lose matches he plays in. I just thought he moved the ball quicker than anybody else in the first half. He got control of it more than anyone in the first half. He moved it. He kept at the right times, because Jones gets accused of chewing up the ball and different things like that. He done everything perfect last night. He loses it twice in quick succession in the first half near the edge of his box, but that's him trying to take a touch and find a way out, because at times Liverpool, by trying to find a way, were hitting her up towards Jota, and the 2 big centre halves, big lads, as good as Jota's in the air, they were just annoying him enough that the midfielders could come back and take it off him. Let me see. Emma says this could be fun because Kev's in favour of the new recycling initiative. Yeah, Kev, if you're watching, let me see. I'm trying to sort this out here. Let me see. Yeah, Kev, come back in and I'll look after you. I'll get you in. How's that sound? Haven't heard the FSG out, lads, in a while. I don't hear anything like that. But I don't hear an awful lot of FSG in either, which is good. Listen, that argument will come around, no doubt, probably at the end of this month and probably straight away at the start of June, July. But Chris says I thought Kanate was more solid than Van Dijk. Van Dijk seemed to be going up, trying to get up early for headers, because Jimenez was causing them a bit. Jimenez doesn't jump for the ball; he just jumps to get in the way. And you know what? Van Dijk didn't have the best of game last night, but I think they both grew into it. I think Kanate just looked a bit shaky at times. Pieces, Jota is such a smart player. He offers something a bit different to other forwards. He just came into it more and more, and you could see him towards the end of the first half even saying, here, I had enough of this, I'm going to get the ball. And he was dropping in to try influence the game in the first half, but he does definitely in the second half. And I think Nunes changes the game. I think Nunes and Gakpo both changed the game. I think Gakpo just holding the ball and making angles and making space, they were terrified of him. Nunes the same, but if you notice, Gakpo is outside the left post when he scores. He come on at right side, right? Nunes come on left hand side. His header's from the centre. His chance is coming from the centre. He tries to set one up from the right hand side, so you can see the movement. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get Kevin here. I'm gonna have to switch a few things around. Guess one. Let me see. Just take this off and boom.
Morning.
Safe. Or Fulham.
Morning. How's it
Jesus,
going?
Kev, you sound like you're smoking 40 major there. What's going on?
No, I've got a cough. On top of everything else, I got a cough. So if
Okay.
anyone has ever had a bad back and then you try to cough,
All right.
it is
So it's all happening for you.
every time I cough, I'm feeling it in my back. I'm broke up.
Mark Kavanagh, it's going on about the assists. Yeah. Darwin gets 2 assists, funny enough, because he lays that ball off to Jones, and then of course he sets one up for Gakpo. Frano Pavlovic, it's the first time I've seen Frano Pavlovic in here. He sounds like a guy from Dublin, but he's originally from Croatia. Frano Pavlovic. Jota reminds me so much of Luis Garcia, his ability to just do something, create something different. I get where you're coming from with that, because he drops into spaces and he can just make something happen. I think he's a much better player than Luis Garcia, though, much more consistent than Luis Garcia, because Luis Garcia used to do my head in with the simplest of things. But no, I get where you're coming from, Frano. I really, really do. Look, if you want to throw out a man of the match there last night, I presume you did in the show last night. We did it a little bit on the watch along, but I picked Conor Bradley.
So did I.
But looking back, it was probably Curtis Jones. It was probably Curtis Jones. I'm probably just sentimental, Kev, with the Conor Bradley stuff. But just on Conor Bradley, and I know you've done the show last night, and I haven't watched it, so I'm probably asking the same questions again. But
I was all in on him last night.
Well, you have been for a while, and you've banged on about him.
Yeah.
You've liked the fact he went on loan to Bolton. He done quite well there. He done very well there, and you've been banging on about him coming back, because when we signed your man Calvin Ramsey, isn't it?
Calvin Ramsey, yeah.
When we signed him, I remember you saying to me, "Yeah, but don't forget Conor Bradley." But last night, Kev, he gets done a little bit for the goal because he panics and he tries to get in Williams' way. He throws himself into a sliding tackle down near the corner flag of the Kemlin and the Kop against Willian at one stage in the first half. But other than that, Kev, he makes a brilliant interception when he does 2 against 1, Willian and Robinson. He makes some really good interceptions, and then he grows into it, Kev, as it goes, because he becomes more of an attacking threat. They fouled him 3 times around the corner of the box in the second half. Was it just a case of him growing in confidence? Because I think it was. I think he was trying to do the right things for about 70 minutes of that game, and then he went, hold on, I'm going to actually start attacking, cutting inside and start linking here. And he actually makes so much space for Gakpo when Gakpo comes on.
I think the one thing you got to look at it, there was so many times in the first half where Virgil could have played that diag that he's really good at, because he was high and wide and free for an awful lot of the first half, and he never did. That might be a confidence thing with other players with him, and that'll just come with experience. But I just think that he has all the tools to be an up and down fullback. I said last night, he reminds me of young Seamus Coleman. He's just got energy to burn. He's quicker than you think. He can defend. And he gets forward like no one's business. So the future's bright for him. He's going to have to be patient. The only thing that I worry for him is the amount of minutes he's liable to get to bring his development on how you'd want it to come on. But he'll start every game for Northern Ireland. He'll start an awful lot of the domestic cups for us. And if anything happens with Trent, he looks able to come in and play. That's a League Cup semi-final first leg. That's not like a run-of-the-mill third round.
No, it's not a League Cup. It's not a League Cup third round where
no, exactly.
There's a load of youngsters out for both teams. Yeah,
that was. You look how strong Chelsea went the night before. And in all fairness, we went as strong as we could last night, pretty much. And Klopp had no problems putting them in. He could have easily put Beck, who's a bit older, on the left, or even dropped Curtis Jones into right back, because he's already done it in Europe, and play someone else in midfield, but he didn't. He threw him in, and up and out, he had a really, really good game. The best part of that is you'd have the amount of people by the end of this transfer window saying we should be looking at Robinson, Fulham's left back, and he didn't get a sniff last night. Bradley matched up with him really well.
Yeah,
Willian is no joke.
No, and the thing is, I was more worried over Willian last night than I would have been, say, against a flying left winger. Because Willian all the experience he has, it's not that he can go past you and he can burn you for pace. It's he picks up positions that can hurt you. And he can actually pick up positions where you as a right back say, do I go with him? Do I not? Do I stand off? And Willian is an extremely intelligent footballer. And that's why he's playing at 35 years of age. It's not down to like massive pace. You know, it's how intelligent he is as a footballer on that left-hand side. And I just thought Bradley done really, really well. And, you know,
I think
I don't know
TV
how many...
gave it to Curtis Jones, didn't it? And rightly so. I think when you look at the stats, 98% passing success in the midfield role, given the helter-skelter 20 minutes of the second half, where I popped into your watch-along last night. I was fuming watching it because, like, they were playing as if we were 1-0 down, 60 minutes into the second leg, throwing the kitchen sink at it. Yeah. And we're at home, where we haven't lost in ages. And it was just a case of just play, just keep playing. The chances were good, but he went for broke. And he went
It was like he went to decided, right, we're going mad here until we get the goal. And then we're going to see what we're like. And then we just went and got a second. And then the game, funnily enough, just settled back into exactly the way it was for the first hour. But look, I don't know how many minutes Bradley's going to get. I think Ramsey may be recalled from Preston now as well. And I don't know whether they're going to do something here.
I think that's because he hasn't really been playing.
Yeah, he hasn't really been playing yet, which is sound. They might bring him back and pull him back out somewhere else. I'm not even too sure if he's fit or not. But if he's still at Preston, I'm presuming he is fit. So there's one for you. Look, I don't know how many minutes Bradley may get. Will he have to cover for Bournemouth away? He may do. Will they go Jones and you might do something else? Or will they go Gomez right back and do something else at left back? They may do. But right now, I'd have no problem with Conor Bradley coming in and playing. Exactly. Really wouldn't. I think, and that's not me flying way ahead of myself. I just think last night, I didn't care about him going forward. Right? Because people straight away are going, well, he doesn't have what Trent has. And I'm kind of going, no, he doesn't, but nobody has. But I want to see what he's like defensively. And defensively last night, I think, bar one or two small incidents, the foul at the end is just tiredness. But one or two small incidents, I think he done really, really well. John says, do you think Jones came of age last night, or has he done so already? Do you know what? I was laughing about Curtis Jones the other day because Curtis Jones gets an awful lot of stick, and I've given it to him. Like, I'm not going to stand up here and on a high horse and say I've always told you Curtis Jones is amazing. For me, Curtis Jones, and I've gone through it so many times about his development and where he started off, and I can remember the first time seeing Curtis Jones and going, he won't work, because he ignored an overlapping fullback away at Tranmere in a pre-season friendly when he should have played him. And I thought, no, if he doesn't learn quickly, he's going to be gone. And he's now turned into this number 8 midfielder, right? And my criticism of him always was he chews it too much. Right? He holds on to it too much. He wants 2 or 3 extra touches. Or he might only take 2 touches and he'd be moving the ball, he'd be moving slow and he'd be slowing the game. But do you know something? I'm watching him now, and last night, he does an outrageous bit of skill. Somebody reminded me of it this morning by tweeting and asking for the footage. I think it was Jamie Home, actually. And they were like, did anyone remember that? And the ball drops and he just, I don't know what he does. He pirouettes on this thing at the edge of his own box, and he actually gets pulled back. And it could be a yellow for the Fulham player. And we go on the attack. But last night, he releases the ball when he should release it. He holds on to it. He runs with when he should. He tracks players. He tackles. He looks for incisive balls. He looks for simple balls. And that's the thing. Like, Curtis Jones spends the vast majority of last night at left back. And what he does is he orchestrates the game from left back. That's the truth. He is the one that has Jota dropping in and getting it off him. He's the one supplying Núñez second half. He's letting Diaz go. He's letting Jones go. Or not Jones, he's letting Gomez go. And he's giving it to Gomez. He's feeding it back around to Van Dijk. He's feeding it to Kanate. He gets the goal then because he breaks into midfield and gets it. The reason I'm laughing over him is because a couple of months ago, you had to be either he's the best thing ever or he's fucking brutal, right?
Yeah.
And instead of just looking and going, he's progressing nicely. There is little things he can do. And I'm sure every day he's told that in training, Kev. There's little things you can do. But what made me laugh the most is that this Arsenal link comes up. And all of a sudden, every Arsenal fan on the planet loved Curtis Jones when they would have told you he'd have gotten nowhere near Arsenal's mega midfield 6 months ago. And then every Liverpool fan that's seen the link were like, no, he's not going to Arsenal. He's Liverpool through and through. When a lot of them would have been like, oh, well, like, Jesus, like, you know, Curtis Jones is immortal. It's amazing how a bit of attention or a made-up link changes people and actually lets them come out and give a player credit. It's the only way they seem to get it. Let me read a few comments. Let me just read a few comments here. First half, we were two of us up front and nobody was getting into the box. Bradley was in great positions to put ball in the box, but nobody was there. We all knew Jones had this ability. The frustration was he wasn't showing it. Gravenberch has the same ability, but will need time, says Mark Kavanagh. Do you think Curtis could be slowing it down because he's asked to do so? As their side is evolving, so is this game. Klopp has been given him so much more freedom. No, Curtis Jones used to slow the ball down for the sake of slowing the ball down. I've seen Curtis Jones when Liverpool on the break slow the ball down, right, with options. But now he's just picking the right option. Whether it's to slow it down and keep it, or no, there's a ball on there and I'm going. Let me see. Keller isn't as good this season. Always seems to let a lot of soft goals in, says Joe Hill. The one last night I don't blame him for. Did you?
Sorry, last night? No, not at all. That was too close to him. It was through Van Dijk's legs as well. I mean, he threw a leg out and tried to cover the near post. You couldn't blame him for that at all. I just don't think he's not getting enough game time for his age and where he needs to be. And Liverpool definitely are going to have a decision to make on him at the end of the summer, because if he's got any bit of ambition about him at all, he's got to be leaving.
Well, I think he will, because I think the two keepers going out on loan is telling.
That's massive.
Yeah, I think
that's massive.
I think
Yaros going to Stumgratz
and Pitaluga to Pats here in Ireland. I think it gives them game time. It gives them competitive football, and I think it's ready and one or both to be in around the squad next season. I can actually see where Adrian and Kelleher leave at the end of the season, and these two boys come in as 2 and 3, and could one of them be homegrown because they're there that long?
I think Yaros probably is.
Yeah,
Yaros feels like he's been there for a while, and I think Petaluga might be as well. But it's one of them. I'll go back to Curtis Jones one set. I think what made him was how he was given the responsibility for England during the under-21 tournament last year when they went on to win it. And you saw with him and Cole Palmer, they were by far the two standout players. Harvey Elliott played his part off the bench, but Curtis Jones and Cole Palmer were the two standout players for England in that tournament. And Trafford, the keeper who's now at Burnley, was in goal for them. And winning that, with the responsibility that he had playing in a midfield too, and the discipline he had to show in that tournament to win it, helped him no end. Just in confidence and his ability to be able to... You don't have to be pulling off star moves all the time. You have to have it in your locker. But the ability to be able to stay in midfield and stand in midfield and dictate play takes confidence, because it's so easy for a young kid to say, I have to prove that I can do something, so I'm going to run around like a headless chicken. When what's needed is to stay in shape and to make sure that everything works and flows like it should. And he showed last night that it worked. But he's been showing it all season. You know, Joe Gomez is another one you could throw into that mix. During the summer, anyone was selling him left, right, and centre. And the amount of times I've done during transfer shows making the argument, look, he's homegrown, he's English, he's not going anywhere. We have to make the best of it. And then he turns around and he shows that he's the most versatile defender that we have at the club. Competently can play right back, left back, and he's with confidence now. I wouldn't mind him dropping into centre back and seeing how he gets on, because he's playing. I haven't seen him playing with this much confidence in a long, long time. Yeah, but more not confidence in his ability, confidence in his body.
Yeah, he's aggressive
because he's letting himself go.
Yeah, there was a couple of times last night where he was just aggressive in those kind of duels or whatever you call them, and comes out with the ball. Doesn't kick it over throw. Actually, just physically gets the better of. Now, Bobby that could overeat isn't the biggest guy in the world, but he can be tricky. Quick. He can be awkward, and Gomez was happy to be like literally right up his arse and going, right, listen, when you get it, I'm going to actually hit you. I don't care if you think you can spin me, I'll run with you. but I think he was really good last night. John says Pitaluga off the patch when the League of Ireland is in the off season. Yeah, but the League of Ireland starts back in a month's time.
In a month's time, yeah.
Yeah, so he's gone to pre-season with Pat. So every club in Ireland is in pre-season at the minute. Matches start mid-Feb, John. So most clubs in pre-season, says Garmack. Yeah, just Pitaluga sounds a real talent, says Vase of Flowers. Yeah, I think he's probably the heir to the Allison throne in the club's mind at the moment. I think that's where they're looking for him.
That's the hope. I think that's the hope.
Vase of Flowers also says Pereira last night when he rolled halfway towards the Kop from the halfway line. Well, so Pereira last night lost an eye, and then he lost a testicle. Then his back was hurting him. Like, genuinely, I said on the watch along last night when Pereira come off, he's literally there must be an ambulance outside waiting for that fella. He's been hurt that much.
Fair play to David Coop, though. Fair play to David Coop for bringing on the physio to get him off.
Yeah,
because he knew he was wasting. He was trying to time waste and everything.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
The only time you'll ever hear those words coming out of my mouth. Fair play to David Coop. That'll probably never happen again this season. Yeah. But look, when it happens, it happens.
This is usually the 30. We are now 30 minutes in, and we've done the football. So this could be the 45, the 50, or the 60, right? Just to prepare you.
We'll see.
To let you know. Anyway, that is football. We do randomly stuff, and that's what people are here for, because Brian O'Sullivan was in earlier going, did I miss something? And Garmack said, no, just talking shite about football, stupid football stuff. Brian now currently has 95 pregnant cows down on his gaff, apparently. Brian, of course, is our resident farmer. He is our resident farmer. All the cows seem happy, apparently. And again, people watching who aren't members are going, what? This is taking a turn. Trust me, it's going to take more of a turn in a minute. Anyway, Phil McNulty on Twitter last night. Kev, I don't know whether you're seeing it or not, because I don't know.
I don't go on there anymore.
Right, okay. So Phil McNulty.
I'm on there now and again, but that's
right. So let me fill you in on Phil McNulty, right? I'll get him up here because I want to read his bio, because his bio is extremely important. Right? He is here we go. Phil McNulty. Let me see.
I know who
Phil
he
McNulty.
Is.
Chief football writer, BBC Sport, honorary doctorate media at Salantuni, author Red on Red with somebody else, updated and out in paperback August 17th. So he's the chief football writer for the BBC Sport, Phil McNulty. Yeah. So last night, Liverpool went 2-1 up. Okay? And Phil McNulty, it was tweeted out, Liverpool 2-1, Cody Gakpo, and Phil McNulty tweeted, absolute cunts. Okay? Right? So what happened then was Phil, in his wisdom, turned around and within, I'd say, a minute or two, said, it's safe to say I've been hacked. A quick change of password done, blah, 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 blah. And people were on him like a light, right? Basically saying, you forgot to change the Alborna. You forgot to change to this. There's a great account on Twitter that I follow, and I've met the person I've met them in person. Girl named C is her name. She's sound, and she said, Phil, will you come off it? How do you think you've managed to be hacked? Someone just do one tweet in reply to Liverpool being 2-1 up, and then you've managed just to change your password and get rid of the hacker in minutes. Will you give it over? Get off the stage. Anyway, he is actually being slaughtered for this. But my favourite thing about it, and someone else pointed out on Twitter, and I apologise because I forget that name, he said, Phil McNulty's gone on a retweet rampage to try push his hack tweet miles down his timeline. So he was just retweeting loads of stuff last night. So you'd have to scroll for quite a bit to find a bit about the hacking. But yeah, it was.
Do you know what? I don't
quality.
get it. Why do people go after these guys? Like, they're no different to if Phil McNulty is a fan of Fulham.
Yeah,
he's no different to anyone else.
Yeah,
he's no different to any of us when we go on social media. If Liverpool did something that was horrific on the night, and we'd let rip on it. It's nothing.
No, I have no problem with him. If Phil McNulty is as chief writer for the BBC Sport, as a Manchester United fan, and Liverpool go 2-1 up, and he thinks Liverpool are absolute cunts, I have no issue with that whatsoever. None. My issue here is that Phil has managed to get back into Twitter after being hacked and change it within seconds because he's lying.
And of course he is.
And the fact that he said that isn't the biggest thing. The fact that he started retweeting like a lunatic of all random stuff to push this down his timeline was absolutely phenomenal. So well done, Phil McNulty. Phil McNulty called Liverpool cunts. Pass it on was my tweet last night. And yeah, I've seen someone else I follow on Twitter has changed their name to McNulty's Borner, which was absolutely incredible. So there's loads of fun to be had with Phil McNulty today if you fancy it. Steve Murphy says the issue is him not owning it. That's the issue. Like, I've no problem with him. Like,
exactly, 100%. 100%.
But the thing is, people are like, he said the C word and all. I was like, relax. In Ireland, the C word is actually used as a term of endearment.
It's exactly. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. It's just
like, I'm not going to say this. Well, I have said it because I called it out there, but I don't, like, we know this channel will use language on it. But in Ireland, right, the word cunt is not bad. It's actually a term of endearment. You're a funny C. You're some C. But you're some C means you're a great fella. You're a great fella.
Yeah.
Exactly. But then you go. Some of the replies was apology or absolute gold. I must go and check it out.
I'm gonna have to go and dig it back in and find it.
Someone else did a search of Phil's use of the word absolute, and he has quite a tendency to start a statement with absolute or absolutely. So he's absolutely being like CSI'd here. It's absolutely brilliant. If I was Phil McNulty, I'd be more concerned with what the BBC would think of him tweeting the C-bomb. Yeah, Peter's right there. The BBC may have a big issue with him saying that, considering the BBC have a big issue with a lot of their people actually just giving their own opinion. So saying stuff like that is maybe a massive issue. What else? Simon says The Wire is probably the best thing I've ever seen. Of course, the main cop in The Wire is McNulty.
I never knew that he was English.
Oh, the
main
English,
copper.
Yeah.
The main. I was watching Graham Norton the other week, and he was on it.
Yeah,
and not just is he English, he is proper plum and mouth English.
Yes,
you know.
He is indeed,
yeah, and
I think he might own a house in Ireland actually as well.
He might do.
Yeah, I think he does. I think it might be down your way actually. I think it's down Cork Kerry way. Yeah, I think he might. I
think
he's
down here though.
Yeah, I think he might. I think maybe his wife is Irish or has Irish relatives or something like that. I've read something about him, but yeah, The Wire is amazing.
Good stock,
it's
absolutely.
It's not. It's second to The Sopranos for me, but I'm not getting into that argument. It's 25 to 11 in the morning.
No, it's too early in the morning.
Yeah. Johnny says I think The Wire was overrated. To be honest, Johnny's clearly on drugs, and we are here to support you, Johnny, if you feel The Wire was overrated, because it is an outstanding piece of television. BBC Sports Journal will have to go on strike again to save McNulty. Yes, I look forward to it. I look forward to Ian Wright is already gone. Gary Lineker. I hope Gary Lineker stands up for Phil McNulty, because let's be honest about it, what he said is just what he's feeling, but just own it. Do you know what I mean?
Just own it.
The silver tongue cavalier Phil McNulty, says Vase of Flowers. I like that turn of phrase. Anyway, couple of things before we finish. I'm uninstalling FIFA.
Why?
I've had enough.
What happened?
I've had enough of it. The game is shy. The game's shy. We're
What?
talking about it
That's
on.
a given.
No, we're talking about
Always.
it on the watch along last night, and I was trying to tell the lads how I had a mental breakdown because the way the team was set up, we were too high up the pitch. Teams were getting in behind us, crossing and heading in the goal. Right? We went to play last night. And I'm going to call out Steve Murphy here, right? Because he's an absolute disgrace, right? I'm going to call him out. Yeah. So Steve last night ends up being the captain of our club's team, right? And the game, it's all over the place. He's not chasing anyone. He ends up bringing the goalkeeper out, miles out of the goal for no reason, and the ball slotted in. The setup was wrong. I just got very annoyed. I had to leave last night. I had to go, and I said, I think I'm going to uninstall that game. How annoying is that game? Because the ultimate team thing is just gone stupid. Everyone has cards. Like Real Van Nistelrooy, midfielders and goalkeepers.
Yeah, they always do. Yeah, I've got the Alisson midfielder.
I don't want the 10-minute synopsis on it. It's just shy.
It's a frustrating game, but it's about the only football sim game that's out there that anyone can play. I mean, if you think this is bad, try some of the other ones, because I've tried some of the other ones, and the other ones are horrendous.
Yeah,
but look, it is what it is.
The people in Asia should be clubbing together to get economy back down Pro Evo, right?
Yeah.
And I'd happily play Pro Evo. I'd probably play Pro Evo with all the mad names rather than FIFA. Because honestly, I would play with like Michael Owen being called Michael Cowan. Right, I'd play with Robbie Fowler being called
Merseyside
the
Reds.
Flower, Merseyside Reds, all that stuff. Manchester United land, eFootball for me more realistic, says Teo. I've never tried eFootball, but
I've tried it. It's all right.
But the thing is with this is that it's just so annoying.
I mean, look, the thing is, right, and I've listened to a few people now that know what they're talking about when it comes to this game. This is the most pay-to-win FIFA that there has ever been. And the microtransactions that EA Sports make on this game alone will run into the billions. It's one of the biggest grossing games in esports. It's frustrating as someone who doesn't spend to pay to try and you get.
But Kev, I'm talking about simple things. I'm talking about simple things here, right? Right? Scouts of pieces. You sound like my 9-year-old Gav when he's sulking after getting beaten. Oh, I'm absolutely. I own that. I sulk. I fucking sulk. Don't be worried about it. Right? Some nights I laugh it up, but what's annoying me is that we're playing clubs, right? And again, people watching now are going, "Where's the
clubs
football?"
Is great crack. By
We're
the way.
Finished. The
clubs
football's
is great
finished.
crack.
We're talking about random stuff now.
Yeah.
Clubs is the version of the game where you can go in as mates and all be on the same team and play in the clubs league, right? What I'm saying is that when these two teams set up, you can set up whatever way you want. But what I find in it is the ball goes near their defenders and they either just let it run by them, or if they stop it, they just stand there with it, right? Okay? And then the ball gets crossed in, they're not jumping for it. And we watch the other team's defenders, who are computer controlled, by the way. They step in front of stuff. They're all over you when you get the ball. They win the ball off you and they ping a pass. And I'm not talking about calling for a pass as a player from a computer player. They're passing between these computer players and they're bashing it around the place. And your fellas are standing there like they've been out last night and fucking massive hangovers. It just does me head in. Anyway, I think I'm
enough of
saying all this.
EA24.
Yeah, I'm saying all this, but I'll be probably back on tonight playing it.
Back on tonight.
Yeah, and have another go. But
I'll get on tonight.
If you haven't bought EA24, don't, because the Ultimate Team version of it is appalling, and the clubs version will literally have you ripping your hair out. But Kev, the big talking point for me the big talking point out of the whole watch along last night was Emma dropped a bombshell. Now, he turned up with gifts because I couldn't find these flavoured rice crackers in me shops. So he brought me 3 packs of them last night. I said, I'll have a little row of them tonight, sour cream and onion. The whole box got demolished.
How are they?
Right?
Nice.
Gorgeous, right? Then my wife opened up the pack of, it wasn't barbecue, it was sweet chili. She was like, oh, they're massive. And I was like, oh, God, they're all going to eat them all on me in the house. But the big thing coming out of it is this latest recycling drive in Ireland, which is an absolute abomination, right? So let me throw this at you. So there's these machines now in these shops, so Dunn Stores, Tesco's, Super Value, Centra. It'd be like in England being in, Sainsbury's, Asda, whatever it might be. And basically what it is these machines are bottle recyclers, right? So what they're going to do is, if you buy a bottle of water for €1, it's now going to cost you €1.15, okay? And this bottle will have a special symbol on it. You drink that bottle of water, okay, which you're paying 15 cents more for now, but you can get your 15 cents back if you walk back to the shop, put it through the machine, get a receipt printed out, walk back to the counter, and they will give you your 15 cents back in cash or a voucher for store credit. You can only use it in the store you got it in, okay, the voucher. Now, this is madness. Right? And people saying, oh, it's more recycling. It's not. It simply is not. No, it's not, Kev, because I'll tell you why. If I'm in my house, let me tell you something. If I'm in my house and I have a bottle of water and I finish the bottle of water, what do I do with it?
Well, it's up to you. You chuck it into your you chuck it into your normal recycling bin.
You put it in your recycling bin.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So if I go buy a bottle of water then for €1.15 and I'm standing at home, what do I do with that bottle?
Hopefully you'll put it into a plastic bag or a carrier bag or a box or whatever, and the next time you go for your big shop, You'll
You
chuck
put
them
them
all
in.
into the recycling.
Yeah.
You put them
So
in. You get
so
your
if I
receipt.
if I buy six bottles of water, this week, and put 6 of them
Yeah.
into my recycling bin that gets collected every 2 weeks, I've put
Yes.
6 bottles in. Okay.
Right.
If I buy 6 bottles next week for €1.50 each, and bring them down and put them into this recycling unit down in the shops, I've recycled 6 bottles this week, and I've recycled 6 bottles next week. The only difference is that it's costing me more to buy these bottles this week, but it'll cost me the same if I'm willing to go make a trip back down to give the bottles back. Okay?
Well,
Right.
here's the thing.
Hold on.
Go on.
It's not
Go on.
more recycling. 1. 2,
But it
people aren't
is.
going to do it.
But anyway.
But it's not, Kev.
Okay.
It can't
is.
be. Well, how is
is.
it? No, hold on, Kev.
Because
Hold on a minute. Hold on,
no,
Kev.
I'll tell you how now. I'll tell you
Kev,
now.
if you
And
buy
it's
6,
very
no,
simple.
hold on a minute. If you buy 6 bottles of water this week and you put them all in your recycling bin,
Yeah.
and then you buy 6 bottles next week and you put 6 into this unit, you have recycled 6 bottles this week and 6 bottles next week. You haven't
you're under
recycled
the
any
impression-
more.
You're under the impression that the stuff that goes into your recycling bin goes to recycling.
But hold on, that's none of my business, Kev.
It
I
is
put them in.
but
It's
it
not.
doesn't
Not.
matter.
No, Kev. No. It's not my responsibility as to what happens when I recycle into the green bin.
They're making it.
I
They're
have
making it your
recycled.
responsibility.
No. What they're doing is they are now going to put the cost onto you to buy a bottle of water. The production cost of that bottle is now being paid for by you. Okay, and then if you bring it back, you don't have the cost, but they get to reuse the bottle.
Yeah.
So if they keep giving you the same bottle, it's costing them nothing to make that bottle, and they're charging you 15 cents more. And if you don't bring that back, you're taking the cost of the bottle, not them. It has nothing to do with recycling. Absolutely nothing. It has to do with people producing plastic in this country, and they are deciding we're not paying for the production of this bottle anymore. You are. And if you want to get the cost back, bring it back. And you know what we'll do? We'll wash that bottle and we'll give it straight back to you next week. And it's up to you to do the running around. And don't forget, this is the Green Party that done it. It's the diesel and the petrol that's going to cause you to drive down with all this. And what do you do? If your family drink 50 bottles a week, what do you do with them? They all have to, by the way, they all have to be perfect. They have to be pristine. The tag on them has to be pristine. So now you have to store 50 bottles safely every week to bring them down to get your money back because you've paid for the cost of that bottle to be produced.
Right.
That's the truth,
This isn't unique to Ireland. This is no different.
I don't
to the
care
plastic.
where it's being done.
No.
It's here now.
This is no different to the plastic bag tax back in the day. It'll never work. We need our plastic bags. You wouldn't dream now of going into a shop. You begrudge going into a shop and paying for a plastic bag.
You can't go into a shop and buy a plastic bag now.
Well, you can buy bags for life and that's it. But this is 20
But
years
they're all
on.
they're all compostable now, or whatever you call it.
Because when the plastic bag tax came out, you had all of this argument.
Mm-hmm.
And as time goes on, it just became normal.
Yeah, but why did it become normal, Kev?
Because of cost.
No, it became normal.
Spite
It
and
became
madness.
normal because somebody wisely said, "Listen, let's start splitting up our rubbish. Instead of you throwing plastic bags into landfill stuff, we'll put it into this recycling stuff." Now, Kev, you're telling me it doesn't go to recycling. That's not my problem.
No. It goes to recycling, but it doesn't get separated out. And the problem is,
well, that's not my problem,
get separated out,
so the
it
Green
can't be
Party.
reused.
So why aren't the
It's
Green
pointless.
Party and someone else turning around and saying, "Hold on, why are we putting it onto the customer here? Why aren't we going to
Because
Thornton's
they've
Waste
looked
or
at where-
Greyhound Waste or whoever and saying to them, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go to these companies and we say, hold on, you're getting all this recycling. We recycle more than any country.
No, we don't.
Oh, we do, Kev. We recycle. I'm telling you now, Kev.
We might think we do, but we don't.
But Kev, right,
we look good on paper, but we don't do it.
Right, but all this recycling. So what's happening is it's going off to these places and it's not being sorted properly. So we're making the effort here to recycle stuff into a bin for someone to take it, not do what they're meant to do with it.
The cost of separating it
But that's not our fault, Kev.
astronomical.
That's not our fault.
We couldn't afford to do it and continue to pay what we're paying now. How much do you pay for your bins now?
Well, then provide your product. Provide your product in something that can be biodegradable. Of course it can.
Such as?
All milk cartons are biodegradable now.
So you want a 2-litre carton of Diet Coke?
Yeah.
And you think that that's going to hold?
Well, why not?
But if it was affordable and doable,
Your
they'd have done it already.
biodegradable bag will hold anything you want when you're walking out of the shops.
But they'd have done it already. If they could
No,
keep
no,
the
no,
cost
they won't,
the same
Kev.
as what
No,
they
they
were.
won't.
They would, of course.
No, Kev, they won't, because what they'll do is they're just putting the cost onto you. You're the one that's buying it. You're the one that's paying for the production of the bottle. You're the one that's walking back down to the shops.
You're already
or driving
doing
back
that.
down. When? I don't bring a single
You're
bottle
doing
back to
that
the shop.
it's all built into the original cost.
No, it's not. So why are we
Of course
getting
it
cost?
is.
Why are we getting charged 15 cents more?
Because it's getting more expensive to produce plastic.
Right. And what happens
That's
to the
not
bottle?
rocket science.
Why does the bottle have to be pristine?
So it can be reused. It doesn't have to
Correct.
be pristine. All they
Correct.
have to do is be able to read the barcode.
Correct.
The young fellow works in a supermarket in down the road.
We're paying for the production of
All
plastic.
you have to do is to be able to read the barcode. It doesn't have to be absolutely spotless. You can't reuse the lids. So you just shoot the cans or bottles, and it's cans as well. So as long as the machine can read the barcode, you get your money back, and you're going there anyway. And the other side of it is, if you're living in an area that's pay by weight, you're taking a load of space out of your bins, so you're actually going to be physically having a lot less waste in your bins when they're taken from your house.
Yeah, but
so you're going to save money as well.
But hold on a minute. That's not my. Hold on a minute. I have a bin there, right? If I
Did
want
you
to
know what? Don't do it.
I won't do it.
You don't
I'm just
have
gonna.
to do
I'm just
it.
gonna put it on the green bin.
Then suck up the. No, you won't, because they're
Oh, I
not going
will.
to be taking it.
I will.
Then you're just going to have to suck up the cost.
I will. Yeah, I will.
You know, and after
Yeah.
about a year, you'll sit there and you'll be like, fuck this.
Oh no.
This is
Listen, I'm gonna
stupid.
tell you. I probably buy
I know
4 bottles.
you are a bit stubborn.
I probably buy 4 bottles a week, 5 bottles a week, right? 70
that's
cents a
not-
week, right? 70 cents a week, right? If it's 15 cents a bottle, I'm gonna pay probably an extra €1 a week to buy the bottles that they're talking about, right? Depending on what
I
I'm
know.
buying. I've no problem
I've
with
gone
that.
through a lot more.
I've no problem
I've gone
with that.
through a lot
That's-
more.
Well, what are you going through? Because your
Between
milk
Diet
isn't
Coke-
going to be in it. Well,
No,
Coke,
no.
Diet Coke,
Between-
right? That's fine.
Yeah,
But what I'm
Between
saying is,
Coke, Diet Coke,
Yeah.
water. The youngest one, when she's home, will drink water. She hates tap water for whatever reason.
tap water's the best for you.
Exactly. Whatever it is about her. And you know what? This goes back to when she had braces fitted. When she had her braces, she couldn't drink the tap water. She could drink the bottled water. And ever since then, it's bottled water. And she'll drink water like it's going out of fashion. Cans.
Yeah.
The other young fellow will
But
bring home a slab of cans.
Yeah,
And
but the thing is here, Kev, right?
we go through it.
People aren't going to sit there and start stacking bottles up all week to bring them down to Dunce or Centra or Super Value. They're not.
They want it to start, but it'll just be like everything. Germany started doing this in 2003.
But you see, hold on a minute.
Right?
Let me ask you something.
Let me just say this.
But no, can I ask you a question? Because you might know this answer.
Hang on. One sec. I'll come to it in a sec. Germany started doing this in 2003. They have a 98% success rate now with it. And they're seeing the bottles coming back into the market, and they've reduced the cost of the original product by virtually using all recycling products.
Right.
All
So why
recycled
don't
products.
why
So
don't you
they've
turn?
started
So
to reduce
are you saying then
That's just Germany. It's something like 20 odd countries are doing this.
But are you saying
and the only reason that we've looked at it is because we can see that it
no?
works.
The only reason we're looking at it is because Eamon Ryan's a prick, right? But what I'm saying, it is, Kev. Because come here and I ask you,
well, Eamon Ryan is a prick. Eamon Ryan is an absolute
Do you
prick.
think down the road? Do you think down the road then they turn around and go, listen, by the way, remember that 15 cents that you were being charged about? We're now charging.
Oh, they're going to charge you more. Yeah,
right?
No.
They're going to charge you more. Why?
They'll charge more until it becomes the norm.
So instead of saying right, it's going to cost 15 cents, and when everyone gets into this and starts getting the money back, we're reducing this down because everyone's in.
You're getting your money back. That's the whole point. It doesn't matter how much. It doesn't matter if they charge you €1. You're getting your euro back.
What are you getting it back for?
It doesn't matter if it's 15 cents.
Yeah, but what are you getting it back for, Kev?
You're getting it back to encourage you to bring it to the recycling place so it can be automatically separated.
So why don't you turn around and say this bottle of water is €1, right? We're not putting the charge up on it. This bottle is €1, but if you bring it back, we will give you 10 cents on every bottle you bring back.
Because this is Ireland.
Right.
And
So there you go. So it is a lot of
nothing
bollocks.
is ever free.
Right.
No, because they still have to pay these supermarkets to install the machines and to man them, and you still have to pay recycling firms to go separately because they have to. They have to carry on doing, they're doing all the stuff on their own. They still have to collect this stuff separately as well.
100%. So the government, where the government
now.
subsidising all this? Where the government? So they want us. Again, the responsibility is all on the normal person.
This is the same government
take the cost,
who won't fund healthcare properly. This is the same government who won't put the right amount of SNAs into schools. So to say a government is going to subsidise something, even though it would probably make more sense to subsidise it, then it defeats the object. The fact that you're going to be charged an extra 15 cents for a 2-litre bottle. If you don't want the 15 cents back, then carry on doing as you're doing.
Okay.
But if you want it back,
then
the you'll take it back when you're going to do your next shop.
So the outlook here is then from the government and others is, listen, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We need more recycling done. And what we're going to do is, it's going to cost us nothing to do it. We're not going to subsidise it in any way. We're just going to put the cost onto the people of Ireland. And if the people of Ireland want to bring it back, they'll get that money back. But we're not pumping anything into this. It's all about you.
The only cost to this, the only profit that can be made from this is the profit from people who don't take their bottles back. Because
so it's a money making exercise.
What you're getting. It's only money making if people don't buy into it.
Yeah, so it's a money making exercise.
If people buy into it, you're literally if people buy into it, it's not money making. It's cost neutral.
Yeah,
but for the 15 cents that you're paying at the start, you're getting it back.
Why is it up to us to determine whether this works or not?
But if you go and buy a new telly, you're paying a recycling charge at the start, so you can take your telly when you replace it to the recycling centre for free. Yeah, that's normal.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't have a facility outside my door to put a fucking telly in a bin.
No, I get that. I get that. I do.
So this all comes back. You're
only got about 10 bottles,
and people are saying like, "Oh, my recycling's free." It's not. It's factored. The cost of lifting that bin is factored into the other bin that you get lifted every 2 weeks. So it's not right.
Well, it's not. I mean, we're lucky. We only have 2 bins over here.
3 bins we have.
Three.
Well,
bins
I have 2. You're meant to have 3. I have 2.
Yeah.
I refuse to do the compost stuff.
I don't do the food one.
The brown bin, I just refuse.
I did the brown bin when I was living in England, and the amount of foxes that we used to get coming around the house, coming around the gardens was ridiculous. And it is disgusting every which way you look at it. But we've 2 bins. Most people, when I was in England, we had 4, where you had one separate for glass. You had glass and paper. You had your normal house recycling. You had your normal refuse, and you had your food. So we haven't gone down the road of the glass yet, but we've got glass bottle banks dotted all over the place. Even where I lived in a rural spot in the middle of nowhere, we've glass and clothes bank in the GA car park across the road here. And it's just, you don't think twice about, I've got to go to the bottle bank.
I completely get that.
It's just once a week.
But you see, glass bottles are different because glass bottles are dangerous to people that are lifting bins.
Yeah.
Right? So glass bottles should go into glass recycling.
But the other reason why you're doing that
listen,
is they're separated.
But I'd have no problem if someone said to me, listen, by the way, there's plastic bottle recycling units down beside the glass ones. I have no issue with that. My issue here is that they've come up with this plan for me and you to, take the cost of the bottle, okay? And the only way that you can not be affected by this is to bring a fucking back when there's a bin outside your door that clearly states you should put plastic in it. Now, when it all comes down to it, that plastic should be leaving your green bin, going out to wherever company takes it, separate it out, and that's the way it's done. And the funny thing is, more people will buy into it. But more people will buy into it if you said to them, come here and I tell you, right? Come here and I tell you. We're not changing the charge of bottles here. But if you go down and bring you back 10 bottles to us, right? If you bring back 10 bottles to us every week, we're going to give you €1. Right?
I'll tell you what.
Right? We're going to give you €1 every week. And at the end of the year, you'll have €50 off your shopping. You save it up throughout the year. Right? And then, hold on. Then it means nothing changes. Cost doesn't change. Right? Cost doesn't change. People recycle to get money back off something they've paid a normal price for, and all them plastics that aren't being recycled by a recycling company are now being recycled.
You know what's going to happen, right? Listen, do you know what's going to happen? You'll have white van man with
correct
that'll call to your door.
Yes.
Do you have any plastic, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, Gavin walks out with his bottles and cans and Christmas doing what have you. And
5
the
cent a
man will
bottle.
come and take it.
I've 20 bottles.
And
There's
the-
€1 for you,
the-
and I go down and I get €3 for it.
And White Van Man is going to stack his Ford Transit to the hilt with
Yeah.
plastic, and he'll be sat outside Super Value.
Yeah.
15, 30, 45, 60.
Yeah,
70.
correct.
That's a quid.
Yeah.
And do you know what? If that's what they want to do, good luck to them. And
Yeah.
if people don't want to take it back, then it's a win-win for the two parties.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, nobody's going to be able to judge this until a year out.
No,
In a year's
I'm
time,
not saying it won't
you'll be able
work.
to judge it.
I'm not saying
I think it will work.
I think the whole premise of it is appalling.
It's
The
just
whole
the way the
premise
world
of it
is
is,
working, especially
if
with
this-
the cost
if-
of making plastic.
If this works,
It's through the roof.
but the whole idea here is, if this works, the reason it's going to work is because me and you are taking the risk on the cost that we will bring it back, and they're then getting their bottle back to reuse and send it back out to you, right? And no cost to themselves, right? If it doesn't work, all of us take the cost. The government don't. The fucking recycling companies don't. Nobody takes the cost but me and you. And the whole idea of this working is based on me and you. Because
Right.
the recycling bin outside the door is not being processed properly. What are we putting in the fucking recycling bin for? And that's the whole point. Anyway, we're an hour in.
I was
and
literally just typing that.
Yeah,
Hour.
I apologise profusely for the last half an hour of podcasting that's just happened. Listen to the first half an hour and then just turn us off. Because
Well,
we've got on a mad one
well,
about Phil McNulty,
you know-
EA and recycling. But that's
In
the way
all
it goes
fairness,
on a morning.
if you're a member, if you want to become a member, $3.99 a month, yeah?
Yeah.
It's £1 a week. It's a
Yeah.
£1 a week, and you get this shit every day.
Yeah.
Every day you'll get random chats about
What
absolute
to do is
shite.
buy a load of bottles of water on the 1st of February, bring them back, get €4 worth of a voucher, take your money, come back and stick it on us for the month.
There
That's
you
the
go.
best way to do it.
Problem
Anyway,
solved.
we're
Problem
really
solved.
sorry about that. But listen, that's just the way it goes. It is
I'm
random
going to
on
play
a,
FIFA in a minute.
in the morning. We didn't have a show yesterday, so we've made up to it today. We're an hour. We have to go. We don't know when a show yet for later on. We are into this break, so I'm probably going to take a couple of days off so we can actually plan next week where we have a break and we've loads and loads we can sort out and talk about and stuff like that. We
Looks
may
like
be on
there's a bit of
tonight.
transfer stuff going on, though.
Yeah, is there?
Not for us.
No, well then we might do a transfer show later, and we might just have a look around the league and stuff like that. Yeah, it's and then we
There
are
is some
officially
football
into
going
this
on this
10-day
weekend
break.
as well. So.
Yeah, so we'll do our best to bring you as much as we can throughout the week. Thanks a million for watching. That's been Gav. That's been Kev. That's been supposedly the 30 that has ended up at the 62. Let me see. Carmax says €1 a week to get shit on and given out to. Correct, Gar. Well worth it. Where
Absolutely.
else would you be spending? James says, great show, lads. Thanks. Is there not a transfer show? There's actually, yes, there is actually. You've made that decision for us right now. There is a transfer show tonight at 10 p.m. And it'll be open to everyone tonight. It'll be open to everyone tonight because the last one was members. Let's be fair. Thanks a million to Kev. Thanks a million to everyone in the chat.
No
Talk to you in a bit. Over and out.